Hello, hi, welcome to all of you. Today we are going to discuss chapter 2, that is attitude. Before discussing this chapter, please subscribe to my channel. So today we are going to discuss social influence and persuasion. Social influence versus persuasion. As we have already seen in the last lecture, that attitude formation theories. How an attitude will be developed in the individual, how an attitude will be formed. Accordingly, he will behave, he or she. So, in attitude formation, these two will play an important role. One is social influence and one is persuasion. There is a slight difference between the two. What is social influence? It is a broad process in which behavior of one person alters the thoughts or actions of the other. One's behavior is affecting others' thought or action. Persuasion is a type of social influence. Here you are altering the attitude of another. How you are altering by sending a message. By sending a message on public platform or by advertising. In case of social influence, the message need not be intended for a particular target. It is a general message. It is a general advertisement. For example, there are many advertisements on tourism, Gujarat tourism, Kerala tourism. For example, Amitabh Bachchan has been brand ambassador for Gujarat tourism. So they have come up with an advertisement where Amitabh Bachchan is telling that Gujarat is a good place so that you can visit. Since Amitabh Bachchan has endorsed it, many people might have gone to Gujarat to see what are all there. So that is a broad message he is giving to all the states across country and also the international community that you visit Gujarat because it is offering a lot in religious tourism as well as natural tourism. In persuasion, there are intentional messages. You are targeting particular people through WhatsApp. If you are in one particular WhatsApp group that is dedicated towards your team, you are sending a message in team to motivate them. That is the persuasion. Through message, you are motivating them to adopt a positive attitude towards work and to complete the task in time. Maybe in persuasion there are so many techniques. You might have adapted certain techniques like carrot and stick policy. See, if you are doing the task within time, you will be rewarded certain thing, or you will be given extra bonus. So since you are giving extra bonus, that will change his attitude, and he or she or whole team will complete the task within the time. Or you might threaten them that if you are not completing the task within time, you all will be punished. Your ranking or grading or your upper you will be given lesson marks at the end of the financial year in your upper grading. So there is a slight difference. Though social influence and persuasion both helps an individual to develop certain attitude, but both are different because social influence is a broad message. It need not be intended for a particular target audience. You are not targeting anyone. It is a broad message. It is a broad advertisement. It is a broad campaign for all. So why you are advertising or why you are promoting and why you are branding? There are so many brands which are endorsed by popular celebrities. Why? For example, a particular shoe brand is being promoted by a certain sports person. If that particular sports person is endorsing that product, people from all sections, people from all castes, all religions, everyone, whether it is a younger, whether it is a elder, everyone wants to use that brand. So the message is general. The film star or the cricketer through advertisement is targeting the broader audience. He is targeting those audience to change their attitude or to create positive attitude towards certain brand. Next is persuasion. Persuasion. It is a communication process in which the communicator seeks to elicit a desired response from his receivers. That's what we are talking. Persuasion is a targeted. You are, for example, you are persuading your friend. You are persuading a small group. You know the target audience. That is the only thing in persuasion. Persuasion, you know who are the target audience. Accordingly, you will communicate. You are convincing your friend to go for Goa trip. So that persuasion you are doing it is intentional. It is specific. It is not general. If it is general, we call it as social influence. It is a conscious attempt to change the attitudes, beliefs, behaviors of others. Yes. That's what we are saying. If your friend is not convinced of coming to a tour, you will convince him or her to go along in the tour. Persuasion, how persuasion can occur? It can occur through mass campaigns, advertisements. For example, election campaigns. Election campaigns, parties release manifestos. And the candidates in that constituency, they go and visit every household. And they tell them that if I win, I will do all these things, or my party will do all these things. So through that communication, he wants to change the attitude of those people in his constituency to vote in his or her favor. So he is targeting through that election campaign, that particular candidate is targeting the voters in his constituency or her constituency. But whatever the political party's manifesto is, should attract all the communities. Similarly, in theory questions, UPSC can ask, what are the principles of persuasion? What are the principles? According to Robert Cialdini, these 6 SALSA, this is the acronym, SALSA, RCB, SALSA. What is that? Reciprocity. If you have helped your friend, he will help you. Reciprocity. Consistency or commitment. If you are convincing certain person, maybe he will be convinced. Maybe his attitude will be changed. Scarcity. If someone tells you that tickets are very few, 1 or 2, if you don't book flight ticket today, then you may not get the ticket tomorrow. Due to scarcity, your attitude has been changed and you booked your flight ticket. Authority. Through authority also, you can convince or you can change people to develop certain habit or to develop certain attitudes or to get your work done. Liking. If you like somebody, whatever he says, you will do. So your attitude is changed. You will do whatever he says. Social proof. If someone has done certain thing, and based on thing, if he has succeeded, if someone has established certain business, he has succeeded, then some people will adopt the same business model. They may be having certain doubts about that business model, but since that business has been succeeded, their attitude has now changed. They will adopt the same business model and they want success now. That is the social proof. Someone has set a proof that with this business model I have been successful, then people will adapt or reorient their attitudes. Types of persuasion. This is very important when you write case studies part. Because in case studies, UPSC asks that how you will change the attitude of the terrorist, or how you will change the attitude of the Naxalist who have surrendered to you since you are SP of the certain district. How you will handle that terrorist or that Maoist? First is appeal to reason. Based on logic, based on argument, based on facts, figures, you will change his attitude first. Any person attitude, any individual attitude. Appeal to emotion. You can appeal to his or her emotions. You can quote certain verses of religious quotes. Third is aids to persuasion. What are various other tools that you are having. What are certain leverages, what we call? Maybe, for example, if you are maybe the support of seniors at your workplace, maybe support from political bosses. Then you can, if you have support from political bosses, you can persuade people to vacate their places so that you can construct a road or you can construct a metro. You have seen the case of Delhi Metro. How Delhi Metro, that Sridharan Delhi Metro as MD, he has been given powers by the political establishment that paved very easy to remove all the illegal settlements, encroachments, and paved success for Delhi Metro. What are the negative reinforcements are that? At the end of the day, what are the carrot and stick policy? If you are not adopting this attitude, how you will be punished? What is the threat? Then also people will change their attitudes. This is very, very important. These are the steps. This is first step, next second step, next third step, next fourth step. These are the types. All these types you have to mention while you are attempting the case studies. This we will discuss later. This will be very helpful to your case studies. That's it. I hope you understood the concept of moral attitude and political attitude, the concept of social influence and persuasion. So on that social influence and persuasion, one question has been asked in the UPSC in 2016. How could social influence and persuasion, both are same, there is a slight difference between both, as I have already explained you, contribute to the success of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? I have here provided you model answer. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is a country, this is the introduction. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is a countrywide campaign. It is a campaign to change the attitudes of the persons. Initiated by the government to eliminate open defecation and improve solid and liquid waste management. So what is the contribution of social influence and persuasion? First thing, SBA means Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, has enrolled celebrities to influence people. You all know that all celebrities in regional languages as well as in Bollywood, every celebrity has endorsed Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Amitabh Bachchan, Kapil Sharma, etc. People have also, through movies, they propagated message. Example, Ek Toilet Ki Prem Kada by Akshay Kumar. Third, many innovative campaigns has been done to change the attitudes of the people, because changing attitude is only the important, is only the crux, or is only the important part in the success of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. If their attitude changes, accordingly their behavior changes. They will use their toilet. They will not go to open defecation. Letters by students to their parents highlighting the importance of toilet in the house. Essay competitions on sanitation followed by discussions. Swachh Bharat pledges in schools, Nana Nani Sabhas to create awareness. All these innovative things have happened in Sindhudurg district of Maharashtra. Same in Mandi district of Himachal Pradesh. Swachh Doot and Gram Doot, these people, they will go door to door campaign and they say that please use toilets. If you don't use toilet, if you go for open defecation, these all will be the problems. These are all the impacts on your health. Nukkad Nataks, etc. Short videos. District administrations have prepared short videos depicting negatives of open defecation. In some districts, panchayats have decided to impose penalty. Even I have seen the news at that point of time in Karnataka. One sarpanch used to blow whistle. He used to go in the morning walk, and whenever he see any person is openly defecating, he will blow the whistle. Then that person will go away. This kind of things some people have dedicatedly adopted to change the people's attitude, to use the toilets at their homes rather than going in public for open defecation. This to impose penalty, ration cuts. Some sarpanches have been aggressive. They have decided to impose ration cut. If you are going for open defecation, there will not be ration for you. Posters, banners, advertisement, mass human rallies have been conducted. Same time, huge number of toilets have also been constructed, and SSG, in many places like Kerala, SSGs have been asked to maintain those toilets. So way forward is, as I have told you, basic issue is changing people's attitude towards cleanliness. Not only open defecation, overall cleanliness, overall waste management. So how? Sustained. You have to do sustained campaigns, sustained persuasion. If you are every day you are convincing people, then their attitudes will be changed. We have already discussed this. You see, consistency. There is one principle of persuasion, that is consistency. If you show consistency, commitment, then definitely people's attitude will be changed. That's why Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is still continuing, because you should have the continuity. Persuasion along with social influence is the only key to their change their attitudes. One more question I have attempted. That question have come in 2015. Two different kinds of attitudes exhibited by public servants towards their work have been identified as bureaucratic attitude and democratic attitude. Distinguish between the two terms. Bureaucratic attitude versus democratic attitude. Distinguish between two. What are the distinction? Write their merits and demerits. Is it possible to balance the two? So what is bureaucratic attitude? What is democratic attitude? Public servants. Here you are talking about the public servants. Public servant might be politician, or maybe a civil servant, or maybe he might be from the judiciary. All are public servants. So what is the bureaucratic attitude? What is the democratic attitude? Bureaucratic attitude is top-down, unilateral approach. Democratic attitude is bottom-up, consultative approach. Bureaucratic attitude is ivory tower attitude. Democratic is participative. Bureaucratic, what is the feeling? Because we have already discussed it. Attitude is sigma, thought, feeling, behavior. So I have written 1 point for feeling. What is the feeling? My bop feeling. Here, feeling of serving. One thing has happened, feeling. And what is the thought? Thought is ivory tower. I am in a silos. I won't talk to anyone. Here it is participative attitude. Democratic attitude means I will talk with everyone. I will have consultations with everyone. So what is my behavior? I have already discussed it. Attitude is sigma, thoughts, feeling, behavior. We have already discussed these two. What is behavior? A high-handed behavior, not responsive to the public needs. Here, what is the behavior? He believes in consultations, negotiations, conducts and participates in meetings with various stakeholders, responsible to public needs. So what is the tendency? Authoritative tendency, controlling, directing, rule orientation. What is here? Democratic tendency, coordinating, supporting. See, you have the skeleton here. Accordingly, you have to structure, you have to formulate your answer. All the theory, based on the theory, you have to structure your answer in the examination hall. You have to prepare the skeleton first, then you have to fill the content, then only you will write very good answers. Next, what is the merits of bureaucratic attitude? What is the merits of democratic attitude? For example, in emergency situation like war, disasters, law and order, bureaucratic attitude is important because you don't need any consultations. You have to have authoritative tendencies. Then only the situation will be under your control. Top-down approach suits. But what about democracy? Second thing, ensures clear-cut channels of communications, clarity of role and responsibility, swift project execution. In the top-down approach, everything is fixed. Everything has certain defined roles and responsibility. He is accountable for that. Ensures economy and efficiency. What about the merits of democratic attitudes? As it is suited for the democratic countries. You have to believe in consultations, negotiations. You have to involve people. Then only the ruling party will be in touch with you, its supporters or public. It will also help in feedback channels, which helps in ensuring effectiveness and equity in the process. In the process, maybe certain communities or certain marginalized sections may be neglected. But if you are taking feedback, if you are taking consultations, if you are having negotiations with people, NGOs, media, then you will get the feedback and those people will get justice. Most useful in today's networked governance. Networked governance, we call it. Today, there are many stakeholders. Government, along with government, there are many stakeholders. There is private sector, NGOs, international organizations, media, civil society, etc. and so on. public. Improves trust between citizens. If you are engaging with the citizens, the trust will be improved. But what are the demerits? Lack of transparency and accountability. If you are not engaging with public, if the public don't know what you are doing, you are maintaining secrecy, then lack of transparency. That is not citizen-centric, not suited for democratic countries. If such an attitude, then ruling party might lose. Sometimes also lead to public protests, as we have seen recently witnessed the recent farmer protests in India. Injustice to marginalized section. If you are not engaging, if you are not taking feedback, then how can you know? Some certain sections may be neglected. So there might be more inequalities, which might lead to crime, law and order situations. What about the demerits of democratic activity? Excessive consultations also will delay the projects. You might not evacuate people. Or if you see the case of Delhi Metro, as a CMD of Delhi Metro, Cialdini have been given extraordinary powers. Then only he could be able to evacuate people. He could be able to do land acquisition at very faster rate, paving the way for success of Delhi Metro. People may bring forth unjust demands, which might not be cost effective. As people might ask anything under the sky, under the sun, it might not be difficult. It might be difficult. They might not be cost effective. So not suited for emergency situation like disasters, wars, law and order situation, then democratic attitude will not suit. So, but second question they have asked, can be balanced? Yes, both attitudes can be balanced for the creation of how. We have to include all the sections because our goal is foster inclusive and sustainable growth. So we need democratic attitude. Definitely we need to engage with people. We need to see all the sections are being benefited or not. At the same time, without rule of law, we need to ensure rule of law. Our society will turn into the chaos. So for rule of law, to ensure rule of law, to maintain law and order, public servants also shall have bureaucrats. So public servants shall have mix of bureaucratic and democratic attitude. Public servant shall have mix of, there should be mix, that is the word, mix of bureaucratic and democratic attitude. Then only country will be progressive. For the diverse country like India, while formulating policies, various stakeholders need to be consulted. So democratic attitudes are necessary. But at the same time, while implementing policies, here we are talking about the policy formulation. But what about the policy implementation? While having policy implementation, certain rules and regulations need to be followed. Here, bureaucratic attitudes work. Again, we are saying that there should be a mix of bureaucratic and democratic attitudes. Democratic attitudes in public servants ensures effectiveness and equity. Bureaucratic attitudes aim at economy and efficiency. What is fourth point? In a democratic country like India, bureaucracy is expected to provide unbiased, rational suggestions to political executive. So while formulating policies without any fear or favor, so bureaucratic attitude is necessary. However, at the same time, administration is also expected to be citizen-centric, transparent and accountable. So it needs to adopt democratic attitude. Again, we have talked about the mix of bureaucratic plus democratic. Every public servant shall have a mix of both attitudes. One attitude will not serve all the purposes, all the situations, all the circumstances. So public servant in all the situations, all the circumstances shall have mix of bureaucratic and democratic attitudes. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Training to public servants must focus on forming both attitudes to elicit exemplary behavior by them, which is very much necessary to build modern India. They should show exemplary behaviors. To show exemplary behavior, they shall have a mix of these both attitudes, and accordingly, then the country will progress. We can build modern India. There should be a mix. Some more previous UPSC questions I have mentioned here. What are the main factors responsible for gender inequality in India? Discuss the contribution of Savitribai Phule in this regard. Second, our attitudes towards life, work, other people and society are generally shaped by the family and the social surroundings which we grow up. Some of these unconsciously acquired attitudes and values are often undesirable in the citizens of modern democratic and egalitarian society. What are those things we need to discuss? Today we have discussed this moral attitudes. This is the question on moral attitudes. Anger is a harmful negative emotion. It is injurious to both personal and professional. Okay? Discuss how it leads to negative emotions and undesirable behaviors, how it can be controlled. Next question, what factors affect the formation of person's attitude towards social problems? In our society, contrasting attitudes are prevalent about many social problems. What contrasting attitudes do you notice about the caste system in our society? How do you explain the existence of these contrasting attitudes? Formation of person's attitude towards social problem. What are those factors? Again, the moral attitudes, moral values. What we are learning since from our childhood. What are our parents' view or attitude towards our social problem, our caste systems? What are our elders' view? What are our teachers' view? What is written in our textbooks? At the end of all this, what is written in our religious textbooks, religious texts? All these factors shape a person's attitude. That is what we have been discussing today. So these 4 questions, you can write your own answers. I have already discussed 2 model answers with you. Accordingly, you can try. In next lectures, I will also provide you model answers for these questions also in later lectures. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you all. Thank you.